Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a first impression let's play review of a game called Mad Devils. As always with all of my first impression let's play reviews, I'm going to be playing the game for an hour or more until I am satisfied that I can give you my opinion on the game. If you are in a hurry and you don't want to watch the full 1 hour or more of the video, then you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video, and I will also put the timestamp in the description below. And in the last 10 minutes or so, I will give you my quick, concise, final opinion on the game and tell you whether or not I can recommend the game. But if you're not in a hurry, you can just stay tuned and I will be playing through the game and I will be giving you my running commentary as I play through the game, and I will be telling you what I think is good and bad about the game as I play through the game today. So the game is a $15 game, and it's actually been out for a while. It's been out for 3 years, but the developer randomly sent me a code for the game and it looks like an okay game. I've never played the game, so the game looks interesting. So even though it's a little bit of an older game, I really do not care. As you guys know by now, I don't really review all of the quote-unquote popular games. I more review indie games for the most part. I would say easily 90% of the games that I cover are indie games. So anyway, developer sent me a code and today we're gonna check out the game. Now, one thing that I have to talk about, which I have made a point about talking about in all of my reviews in the past year or so, is if a developer does something immoral, something which I find immoral. So a good example would be Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Rockstar, Riot Games, any of those, Square Enix, any of those companies that are known to have a immoral history of behavior in the company. And I will tell you what that immoral behavior is, and then you just really have to consider in your own morality whether or not you will support the developer. So obviously, I've said this before, I have not paid for a Square Enix game in probably 5 years or more. I have not spent money on a Activision Blizzard game in probably also 6 years or more. In fact, I completely stopped making Hearthstone videos due to the immorality of the company. So I really take it very seriously if a company does immoral things. So that is how my conviction of immorality is, immoral behavior from a developer. I will completely stop buying games from a developer if they do immoral things. And I've made a point of talking about the whole Russian illegal war on Ukraine and the human rights abuses against Ukraine, and now as well the illegal war against Pakistan from not Pakistan, is it Pakistan? I think it's Pakistan. No, it's not Pakistan. From Israel. I forgot the name now. It's not Pakistan. Anyway, it starts with a P. The immoral and illegal war and human rights abuses that Israel is doing as well. So, in my opinion, if a developer is doing illegal things as I see it, or immoral things as I see it, then I will call it out. So this developer is selling their game in Israel and in Russia. So that is, it's Palestine, by the way, not Pakistan, Palestine. It just came into my mind. This developer is selling their game in Israel and in Russia. They are making their game available in Israel and in Russia, which is two countries which currently are waging illegal wars against peaceful countries and are also committing a lot of human rights abuses. And the fact that a developer is still willing to promote their product and sell their product in those regions and take money from those war criminals is something that I object to morally. So, in my opinion, you should not support a developer like that. I would not buy, and I do not buy, games from developers that do immoral things. And as I said, I see the fact that this developer is allowing their game to be sold in Israel and in Russia as immoral. Now, this is something that the developers can change if they want to. There are plenty of developers who do not sell their games in war crime countries like Russia and Israel. And this developer is simply one that does not choose to do that. Either they are not conscientious of the repercussions of selling their game in those countries, or they just don't care. Either way, it is my opinion that this developer should not be supported until this behavior stops. So that is my opinion on buying the game. In my opinion, you should not support a developer who does immoral things. Now, with that being said, should you play the game? And that is what we are going to be determining today. We're going to determine if you should play the game. We already determined that you should not buy the game, in my opinion, but we are going to determine whether or not you should play the game. So let's have a look at the settings menu. Everything looks pretty good. There's no upscaling or downscaling at all, and I don't like the resolution settings. If you click, literally you're clicking and seemingly nothing is changing, but what isn't being displayed over here is the FPS. So this is unfortunately one of those games where if you change the resolution, you are also changing the FPS. So what's happening here is this is 60, 59, this is usually like 50, and then this is like 30 whatever, and then 30, and then 29 and 24, and after you click a whole bunch of times, then you get to the next resolution. So it's not even showing it here. You literally have to click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in order to get to the next resolution, because the game is running through all of those different FPS options. So that's not good. It should be showing over here, and it simply does not show over here the FPS. So these resolution options are also affecting your FPS. So that's an issue. This should not be this way. You should be able to select the resolution and the FPS completely separately. So that's the only issue that I've seen so far. Otherwise than that, I don't really see any issues, to be honest. The game does have controller support, apparently. You can change the language if you want to. All of that kind of stuff. So no real issues except for this resolution issue, which is actually a relatively big issue because players will not know why the resolution is not changing. So yeah, with that being said, we can jump into the game. The game does have online as well, apparently, even though I don't review online games, I just review solo games. So we will jump into a single player game. Okay, this is another issue. I always chastise games for doing this. When you are selecting a difficulty and you don't tell the player what is actually changing, then that's absolute bullshit. Like, what's changing between easy and inferno mode? Are the enemies dumber? Do they have more health? Do they have more damage? Do you get less loot? Do you get less experience? Do you get less gold? Like, what the fuck is actually changing? So you aren't being told anything regarding any of the difficulty options. So that is really bad. Completely unacceptable. The game also uses that very lazy still image animation method. It's a very low effort and lazy method of doing cinematics, in my opinion. I would rather prefer like an in-game cinematic than this still image stuff. Looks like we are becoming Ghost Rider. Oh, are we becoming Ghost Rider? Okay, long loading screen. And we just T-posed for a second. A good old T-pose.
Where am I?
Oh, and the game has voice acting.
Is that you? The last thing I remember was Strauss's lab. The crystal shattering. I think I died.
The voice dialogue is a little bit low. Let's turn that up a little bit. Why does the master volume go down when you change the music? What the hell? That's not supposed to be that way. A voice we're gonna leave normal. And then I'm gonna turn my Windows sound up a little bit. Okay, let's see how this is. Yeah, that's not too bad. Wow, the character movement is very jittery. Extremely jittery. Hey, what are we supposed to do? Okay, so there's no tutorial for movement. There's no tutorial for looking around. There's no tutorial for shooting. That guy just fucking freaked out. You shoot objects, enemies you can shoot will be highlighted when aiming at them. Hold left click to charge a more powerful shot. Well, nothing is happening. I'm holding left click. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you have to hold it for like fucking 4 seconds. Press R to reload, press R again when the bar fills up between your lines to power up your next clip. I'm not gonna do that. Can't zoom in and out. I'm trying to zoom in and out. The game doesn't allow you to zoom in and out.
Ready yourself.
Okay, so the game doesn't automatically reload. You literally have to click R. Otherwise, the game doesn't reload. What are these things? Is it health or what is it?
What are these creatures? What's going on here? Why aren't you saying anything, Cross? What's...
We thought you were gone, Asher. It's been so long.
Diana,
This place,
The icons of these characters are really bad. Like here at the bottom left, the icons are really bad. It looks like it was drawn
Let's move out.
in watercolor by a 4-year-old. Like that icon there, this icon here. Like this one is particularly bad, this one on the left is okay. But this one is really bad. Still not sure what this red and blue stuff is. Whatever fucking gun she has, I want her gun. Holy hell. She's got a mother. You can't sprint. You can, like, dash. There's a dash when you press spacebar. I don't like the environment because it's not easy to press tab to switch between characters. Holy shit, we can switch between characters. It's not easy to see where the environment actually is. Like here, also I'm stuck. Like literally I'm stuck. I'm pressing down and left and I'm completely stuck. So you can even get stuck on the environment. There I was just pressing down and then I got unstuck. So there's no unstuck mechanic normally in normal games. You would run like this and then you would automatically start to slide off of the texture instead of just continually running into the texture. So that's not good. What the hell? This gun doesn't even shoot very fast. How the hell was she able to shoot so fast? What the hell? I got burned like crazy. What the hell? So why? That's really stupid. The abilities, like his abilities can damage me, even though if you look over here, friendly fire is disabled. So why isn't it working? I literally have friendly fire disabled and yet I'm still getting damaged by the abilities. That's really stupid. Look how fast she shoots with those guns. The bloody AI shoot incredibly fast. Aim away from cover to crouch lower. Move into cover objects to hide behind them. Oh, okay, so your dude hides automatically. Okay. I'm not seeing that we're getting oh, we are getting experience. Okay, I see now at the bottom left. You do get experience. I would have expected to level up by now, but I guess you need a lot of experience.
I found something.
What does that do? I really do not know what these things do. Why can I see through the thing? Is there a secret behind it, or is it just a glitch? Probably just a glitch. The game hasn't told me about the spacebar sprinting yet. Green orbs refill health, red orbs refill devilry. Okay. Okay, so now we know what the orbs do. XP can be spent to improve character attributes and unlock devil powers in the power menu. Weapon shards can be used to improve weapon attributes or add elemental effects to attacks. So I want to see what these abilities are. Like these abilities over here. Do we have an inventory? Nope. I'm pressing I. I'm pressing B. I'm pressing tab. And then I just switch between them. So I can't see what my abilities are. Exit. Ah, here we go. So you press exit and then you go to weapons. So both characters have the exact same stats. And then powers. Both have the exact same skill levels. Switch to powers. And then these ones are the only ones that differ. Diana's skulls shoot out, turning most enemies they touch into a temporary ally. Diana temporarily phases out of sight, becoming invisible to enemies. Nearby enemies are confused. Diana will briefly remain invisible after shooting. Diana's skulls call in a cold, dark fog that slows and confuses enemies. Diana uses her skulls to summon a temporary shield. Bullets ricochet. Shield covers a larger area. That's the only skill that I would really use, is the shield skill. Asher calls fireballs out of the sky that deal damage over an area. Flaming Phoenix, which flies forward, dealing damage. Shoots multiple enemies. So this is a temporary ability. Reduces protective flaming shield that deals damage around him. Adds a brief burst. Shield has a chance to ricochet bullets. Yeah, but the fire shield damages your friendly allies as well. Asher summons a ring of spikes out of the earth around him. Spikes leave behind the damaging flames. Adds a powerful offshoot of spikes. All of these abilities seem really stupid, in my opinion, except the shield one and then the shield one. Those are realistically the only skills that I would even use, to be honest. I'm pressing switch to general. Nothing is happening. Okay, there we go. Fucking hell, that sound was loud. Press exit to access menus as well as the battlefield. Battlefield? Map of the battlefield. Where's the map? Press exit to access the menus as well as a map of the battlefield. There's no map here. There's no options for the map. What are you talking about? There's literally no map. Also, upgrade cost. I0000. What the hell does that mean? I can't change any of that. I guess maybe we need to rest at a bonfire or something like that.
All that'll be left is ashes.
Fucking hell. I got stuck there on the bloody thing. Like literally I was running, I was pressing down and right, and look at that bullshit. You literally get stuck. Look at that. That's really shitty. I literally was talking about that previously and then I got caught there. Refill grenades. Press G to throw grenades. I didn't even know we have grenades. I'm pressing G, nothing is happening. Why is she just standing there? Fucking hell. How many of these shooting bastards are there? Fucking need to set up auto clicker on this bloody mouse, because constantly clicking is really gonna fuck your finger up. This game is a very quick way to get an RSI. They should rename this game to RSI Simulator. So do we need to go down or left? Seriously, let me quickly set up an auto clicker and then we'll see how that works in the game. So I have a multi-click macro set up now on my mouse. Fortunately, my mouse is reprogrammable, but the game isn't able to register the clicks fast enough. I literally have it set to click 100 times per second right now, and then when I activate it, it looks like this. So that is seemingly the fastest that the game will allow you to click. So you can't click any faster than that. And then if you compare that to my normal clicking like this, Like, it is obviously faster, but yeah, like I wish it would be even faster. The game literally doesn't register all of the clicks from my multi-fire macro. So I can still use it. It will still save my finger a little bit, you know? It's just weird. Sometimes it stops, like the game doesn't register it sometimes. Like when I stand still, it shoots very fast, but then as I move around, it sometimes completely stops shooting. Like it's shooting now, but then sometimes it just stops shooting, which is weird. So I will still leave it on. I'm still shooting with the multi-shot macro because it saves my finger. And it shoots faster than what I can. But you see, sometimes the guy just stops shooting completely. Also, I'm pressing G and nothing's happening. So I don't know how the grenades work. Look at that. My dude just stops shooting sometimes. Even though the macro is constantly clicking 100 times per second. But yeah, the multi-shot macro will really help your fucking finger. Look at that, it just stops shooting sometimes. It is literally clicking 100 times per second. And yet the game doesn't register it a lot of times. What the fuck? What explosion was that? Let's pick up a little bit of health. Where's all of the health that was over here? Oh, that's fucking stupid. Health and just drops in general disappear. I hate games that have disappearing drops. Just shoot, for fuck's sakes. Like, look at that. I don't know what's going on with the game, but sometimes it just doesn't register the clicks. And you literally have to stand still in order to shoot as fast as you can. The game doesn't like it when you're moving around. I'm probably gonna die. I'm not sure what happens when you die. But I don't have health. Look at that, the bullets are just flying over. Like, she is shooting him, and yet the bullets are just like flying over his fucking head. Even though he is also shooting. So you can't even shoot the enemies when they're in cover, no matter what. Like, literally, the game doesn't allow you to shoot them. Okay, can't I resurrect him or something like that? Also, I love the fact that she is completely full health and my other dude is completely dead. For some reason, they literally just focus fired me instead of shooting a single bullet at her. Look, her health is literally full. Her gun is also not nearly as accurate as my gun was. Also, she's just shooting with one gun. Doesn't she have two guns? I guess she doesn't have two guns. Just the other guy has two guns. I want to see what happens when we die. This cover shit is absolute bullshit. Like, you can't damage them at all when they're in cover. Even though they are shooting at you. You simply cannot damage them. Look at this. I'm clicking 100 times per second, and yet she shoots like boom, 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 sometimes. That's how she's supposed to shoot.
Never thought I'd be so happy to be back in hell.
Oh, so you get respawned when you reach a checkpoint. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. I'm still curious to know what happens when you die, though. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with the inputs in the game, because sometimes I shoot like one bullet a second, but my macro is pressing the button 100 times per second. That sound is way too loud. Like, seriously. Oh, and we can't even drop down here. Game doesn't allow you to drop down there. A map would be really fantastic. I would really like to see a map to see, like, where we go around or whatever. But yeah, the game doesn't have a map. Can we, like, invest these things, or what the fuck? Spending shards to upgrade the damage. Okay, times 1.2. Capacity, accuracy. What's this? 3. Upgrade cost 3. Fire. Chance to light enemies on fire. Flame shot stagger. Chance to slow enemies. Increased damage. Chance to force push. Lots with chance to stagger enemies. Let's go for the light one. Changing the element of this weapon will cost 1 shard. So currently it's on fire with a chance to light enemies on fire. Yeah, I guess let's leave it like that. If it costs a shard, I don't really want to spend it. And then her damage we can also increase. Her accuracy is terrible. Let's increase her accuracy. And then power. We can't do anything here. Can't spend anything.
Don't move.
Everything moves. Even universes.
Sounds American, but look at the rags.
It's always been there. Lurking beneath the surface of our world. A mirror to our every thought. Our every feeling and impulse. Conquest. War. Famine. Plague. We created hell a long time ago, my friends. The crystal was just a catalyst for greater things.
Are you with Strauss? How did you get here? What is all this?
I regret it all, you know. Everything I've done. I did in good faith.
He asked you a question.
And I have an answer. A means to set things right. A way to overcome damnation itself. Take it.
Step back. I'm warning you.
Use it to find your missing allies. Use it to...
Stand down, Cross.
It will never stop. The death beyond death. They come for me.
We need to get out of here.
Take the shard. Activate the Hellgate. Go!
Once again, our ears bleed. Why the hell did she shoot him? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
He said this shard would open a gateway.
I've always
That we could use it to find our allies.
I don't like this, Asher.
You don't have to like it. You just need to follow orders. Perks of being military, Cross.
You don't know how things work here, Ash. The things this place does to our minds.
I know enough. If Strauss is out there, we'll find him. And to do that, we need the boys back in our city.
Why is she just standing there?
On you, Cross.
Yes, sir. Just be careful.
I found something.
What did you find? I don't even see anything. I have to say, the core gameplay loop is really boring. Like, I mean, this is essentially the entire game. You know, like you just move, try to avoid damage, and just throw bullets at the enemy. Like, it's really really boring, actually. Like, if I think about other games of this type, the Ascent, for instance, the Ascent is a pretty good game that is similar to this genre. The Ascent is obviously, like, I think the Ascent is $30. It used to be something like $40. But, like, the Ascent is pretty good for $30. It gives you a lot of content for $30. And then, obviously, you can look to other games similar to Ascent, like, even though most of them are roguelite, you know, with permadeath. Stuff like Crimson Land, for instance. Crimson Land is kind of like this game. Hatred is actually a pretty good example of a game like this. Hatred is pretty good. Yeah, like this game just feels, I don't know, it feels very... I'm gonna die pretty soon. It feels very boring almost. Like you're just moving, trying to avoid damage, getting stuck on the environment. Like that's really the core gameplay loop here. Get stuck on the environment, try to dodge, stuff like that. And I still haven't figured out how to throw a grenade. Holy shit, there I throw the grenade. I've pressed G how many times now? And I haven't been able to throw a grenade. And now, all of a sudden, I was able to throw a grenade. And I've been playing up until this point without having to use any abilities. Because as far as I can see, the abilities are dog shit. Like, this thing just does an AoE around you. Which is like, the enemies are never around you. So, the point of that AoE, really, I do not understand. Like, it's a really, really shitty ability because the enemies will never be around you. And then this ability burns the dog shit out of your teammate. Or it did. Now it doesn't. Why doesn't it do that now? Literally, it burned me when I switched characters and I switched to her, and then the AI used that ability and then it burned me. But now I can't burn her. That's weird. But then anyway, that ability once again is just useful for killing stuff that is directly around you, and there's never stuff directly around you. So the abilities just seem really shit. And the fact that I can even play the game for 50 minutes without using a single ability or a single grenade really doesn't bode well for the balance of the game. Like, it just seems as if you can play the game without one of the major systems in the game, you know, like the abilities. You don't need abilities, you don't need grenades. The weapon system is just really, really shitty. In other games, like for instance in Ascent, for instance, and many other games of this type as well, you get different weapons. That's like a big draw of a lot of the games, is that you're able... How much fucking health does that guy have? The fact that you have multiple weapons. And in this game you only have one weapon. Holy shit, he finally died. So the fact that you only have one weapon is really, really shitty. Because it just really shows that there's not gonna be any variation in the game, basically. Like, I played a game literally just like last week. I reviewed the game called Shell Runner. And even though Shell Runner is a really bad game, I think that game was also like $15, I think. And even though it's $15 and I wouldn't recommend the game, that game at least showed that it has a good amount of guns. It has a good amount of different guns. And then obviously as well. Like I said, the Ascent has a huge variety of guns. Like you get sniper rifles, grenade launchers, shotguns, pistols, automatic weapons, just a whole bunch of stuff, flamethrowers, and that massively increases the fun that you can have in the game. I mean, this isn't fun, really. This is not fun. The enemies have way too much fucking health. Like, look at this bullshit. The enemies have way too much health. And there's just seemingly no variation in the gameplay. Oh. Okay, and you get pulled out of the level automatically as well. I do not like that at all, because I wanted to go to the top and to the left as well.
She told me of the year I was missing.
Yeah, I don't care about this, to be honest. That I really do not like the fact that they pull you out of the game automatically. I hate games that do that. Because there was still stuff that I wanted to do on that level. There was still experience that we could have collected. And yeah, like it's not good to just pull the player out of the map. And then, speaking of a map, we don't have a map. There's no map in the game, despite the fact that the game tells you there is a map. I have not been able to spend my experience at all. Press E to return to Hellgate. Reset current level and progress. Okay, let's see what that does. Returning to Hellgate will reset. Yes. It does nothing. Are you sure? Yes. It does nothing. So yeah, I don't know what that does. And then like I was saying, the weapon upgrades are really fucking stupid. The power upgrades are non-existent. Oh, wait, now we can do that. Oh, 10,000. Does that what it... Okay, so one upgrade costs 10,000 experience. Holy balls, okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's crazy. I went through all of that. I've literally been playing for at least 43 minutes. And I got one level up. Literally one level up. So you get one level up in about an hour of gameplay. That's really, really brutal. And, I mean, the level up is really shitty. It's literally, you can choose, do you want more mana? Do you want more health? Or do you want more resistance? That's literally all that you can choose. So that's really stupid. And then over here, like this costs another 10,000 experience. So you need to play another 40-50 minutes before you are able to get another level up. So yeah, the level up system is really bad. The skill system is really bad. The weapon system is really stupid. It's really not engaging. It's not fun. It's not exciting. And then, like I said, the fact that you can only have a single gun in the entire game is really bad. That makes the game significantly worse than other games. Why doesn't it even change the sound? Literally, I've put all of the game sound off, and the bloody irritating ambient wind sound is still in the game. Like, how can the developer not realize that the sound, the ambient sound is still in the game, even when you turn down all of the master volume? That's really stupid. So I have to turn down my bloody Windows volume Let's turn down the Windows volume. There we go. Okay, so I had to turn down the Windows volume just to get rid of that fucking wind sound. So yeah, honestly, there is no fucking way how I can recommend this game. Just no way in hell. Like I said, probably the biggest issue with the game is the fact that you're only gonna get one weapon. That really brings a big damper on the fun that you can have with the game. Like I said, I recently reviewed Shellrunner. It's not a good game. I would not recommend it, even though it is still in early access. They do have time to improve the game. And then, other than that, I also reviewed Ammo and Oxygen recently, but that's a bad game. I would not recommend that game either. It's also a top-down twin-stick shooter, just like this game is. I've played yet another Zombie Defense, which is also a top-down twin-stick shooter, even though it has a little bit more tower defense mechanics in the game. I would not recommend that game as either. It's not particularly good. Cygnus is actually a very good game. It's a very good game, even though they stopped developing the game. Oh, and I see they actually removed it from the store. That's really sad, because this is actually a good game. You can see that I actually recommended the game. This actually is a good game. I wonder why they removed the game from the store, because you can have different weapons, you have different abilities, the graphics is really good, you can build and stuff like that. Like, it's actually a good game. I believe I did do a review of the game. You can just check my channel, even though it doesn't help. Like, you see, this is what I want. This right here. Different guns, different abilities, levels on the guns, stats on the guns, enhancements on the guns. You can sell guns, you can buy guns, all of that kind of shit. That is the shit that I want in a game. It's really sad that they removed this game. I really wonder. I have to check the Steam forums to see why they removed the guns. Why they removed the game from Steam. I really wonder why, because it's actually a good game that I did recommend. So that's a good game. That's an example of a good game. Blackout Protocol is a game that I still need to play. I haven't played it yet. It's also a top-down twin-stick shooter type game. So I need to check that one out. Postal is actually... No, yeah, that's the first Postal. The first Postal is not one that I would recommend. It's not particularly good, even though it's very old. It's from 1997. But I have played it. It's okay. It's not particularly good. Icy Red is another top-down twin-stick shooter that I would not recommend. Alien Shooter is a good one. It's a very old one, but it is a good one. It's from 2003. Also a top-down twin-stick shooter. You have different guns and stuff like that, different stats. It is a gun that I would recommend, a game that I would recommend. It's actually pretty cheap. I think it's like, yeah, $5. Pretty cheap, to be honest. And then Ruiner is another one I would not recommend. Hatred is the one that I spoke about that I would recommend. The Ascent is very good. It's definitely a good game, but it's $30 fucking, which is quite a lot for these types of games. But this game, just like Cygnus, Cygnus is very similar to this game. You have a lot of options, a lot of guns, a lot of abilities. It's honestly the way that these games should be. Like, you have different guns, each gun has different stats, different enhancements, you can augment your guns, that kind of stuff. Very good. Synthetic 2 is also a good top-down twin-stick shooter, but it is roguelite, and I don't like roguelite games. It also has permadeath. So it's a good game, but it's roguelite. In my opinion, the game is spoiled because it is roguelite and because it has permadeath. I actually wonder, does this game, like, what happens if you actually die? Let's quickly have a look, just for my own morbid curiosity. Even though I do not recommend the game, let's see what happens if I actually completely die. Just for my own curiosity. Because like I already said to you guys at the very beginning, due to the Russia and the Israel thing, I cannot recommend that you purchase this game. When you are a games developer, you need to take, well, when you are any company on earth, doesn't matter if it's a games developer, if you sell a product, you need to know where your product is gonna end up. And if it's gonna end up in the hands of war criminals and people who do human rights abuses and that kind of stuff, then that should weigh on your conscience. And if it doesn't, then in my opinion you shouldn't be supported. Okay, so you just basically respawn. If you die, you respawn at your previous checkpoint. So okay, at least the game doesn't have permadeath or some stupid shit like that. But the game does have disappearing loot, which I fucking hate. But yeah, like I said, I can't recommend that you purchase the game until the developer removes the game for sale from Russia and Israel. Apart from that, if you set that aside, I also can't recommend that you play the game. Like, the game just isn't fun, in my opinion. Especially for $15. There are many games out there that are less than $15 that are way more fun than this game. I understand that every game isn't going to be the quality of Cygnus or the quality of the Ascent or any of those types of games, because the Ascent comes from a much bigger studio that has like 50 developers. So I understand that every game isn't going to have the quality of those types of games, but you can't charge $15 for a game of this quality. The game is relatively low quality, there's not a lot of content, there's no customizable guns, the skill system is very poor. I don't know, it's just not a game that I would recommend playing. Honestly, even if the game was free to play, I would not play the game. It's honestly just not fun. All that this game makes me want to do is to play a better game, like Cygnus or like the Ascent or any of those types of games. If you're looking for a top-down twin-stick shooter to have fun with and to enjoy, this just isn't the game, in my opinion. But as always, that's up to you guys to decide. It's just my opinion. So yeah, I can't recommend the game, unfortunately. But I mean, like I said, the developer sent me a code. It's very much appreciated that the developer sent me a code. I would not have reviewed the game or even looked at the game at all if that didn't happen, because it's just not a game that I would have purchased, to be honest. I do obviously purchase a lot of games. On an average month, I spend $200, sometimes $300 on games. So I purchase a shitload of games, and that would not be possible without your support. So as always, if you want to support me, if you want to see me do more reviews, if you want to enable me to purchase more games, to do more reviews for you guys, then you can support me on patreon.com/LFP. And that is pretty much it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time.